Mental health in school.
By Andrea Jane.
And I'm Pesha Mom.
And Shraddha Ramesh.
Before we start this presentation, please take the time to take this Google form.
Why did we choose this topic? One of the main reasons we chose this is because as teenagers, we understand how stressful school life can be sometimes. We have personally experienced the different pressures and challenges that comes along with school. Also, we believe that mental health is something that shouldn't be ignored because it's just as important as physical health. The stigmatization of mental health, especially surrounding school, can undermine these issues. We don't want our peers to struggle. Overall, with this presentation, we want to spread awareness about taking actions about mental health.
Why is this topic important? School plays a major role in shaping the mental health of students, yet many of its effects go unnoticed. Around 1 in 7 adolescents experience mental health disorders, and more than half of mental health disorders in adulthood begin during childhood or adolescence. This means that the struggles students face in school can have long-term consequences if not addressed.
Adolescence is a critical period where our brains are still developing, and the experiences we go through, especially in school, shape our habits and coping mechanisms for the future. A stressful school environment can influence how we manage pressure, handle emotions, and maintain our well being. If unhealthy patterns develop during these years, they can carry into adulthood, affecting both mental and physical health.
If students don't have healthy ways to manage stress, they may turn to harmful coping mechanisms, including substance abuse. Studies show that teens experiencing high levels of stress, anxiety, or depression are at a greater risk of using drugs or alcohol as an escape. According to the National Survey of American Attitudes, teens who experience high stress are 3 times more likely to use marijuana, twice as likely to use alcohol, and about twice as likely to use tobacco. The survey also reveals that the greatest source of stress for teens is academic pressure. Without proper support, what starts as a temporary way to cope can become a long-term dependency, further harming mental and physical health.
Despite the increasing need for support, 20% of adolescents aged from 12 to 17 have unmet mental health care needs. Additionally, according to the National Institute of Health, many students experience feelings of anxiety and depression without even realizing it. That's why understanding the effects of ignoring your mental health is so important. By learning how school impacts mental health, we can become more aware of these challenges, recognize when we or others may be struggling, and work toward creating a healthier and more balanced academic environment. This way, our futures do not have to be negatively impacted.
Since we are all members of HOSA, we have an interest to enter the medical field after we finish high school. How will this help us in our future?
When I become a health professional, I will need to study a lot depending on what kind of medical field I want to go into, and at times I might feel very stressed out by the overload that can come with this. So, by realizing that I'm stressed, I can get the help that I need or use different coping mechanisms to help relieve myself.
As someone who would like to work in the medical field, it's important for me to be able to take care of my mental health and take note of the mental health of my future patients. To work in the medical field, I would have to go through many years of schooling before I can actually become a licensed healthcare professional. Medical school can become very overwhelming, so taking care of my mental health will help me succeed in my future medical career and in my life overall.
As an aspiring pediatrician, I plan on working with the younger generations, so also with teenagers. By learning about different mental struggles they face at school, I will have a better understanding of my patients' developments and the emotional changes that impact their well being. By addressing these problems, I can ensure they are able to receive the help they need and ensure the child's overall health.
Now, what are the different school factors affecting mental health?
To determine the causes of school-related stress with people our age, we created a survey to see their responses. Along with their responses, we did additional research and found ways that school mentally affects teenagers. From the survey, we collected how people felt after school, mentally drained or not. We asked them about the workload in school and how stressed they feel because of school, and if they've ever felt isolated or bullied in school.
The pressure to succeed and how it affects us. About 84% of the surveyed teenagers said they felt pressure to succeed academically. Some of the academic pressure could be from the high expectations from external influences. Students are expected to strive for perfection. Additionally, students' fear of failure or comparison to other peers could lead to students being excessively critical and afraid to make mistakes. How does this affect us? Mentally, academic pressure can cause anxiety, stress, burnout, perfectionism, and mental health disorders. Physically, it can cause fatigue, headaches, trouble sleeping, loss in appetite, and digestive issues. Emotionally, it can cause a fear of failure and low self esteem.
Another factor is the burden of student workload. So students rated how often they felt stressed about the workload, with 1 being never and 5 being always. We saw that 60.5% of them were stressed quite often, and 26.3% said they sometimes felt stressed or overwhelmed with their workload. Some of these causes include the tight deadlines students have to meet, which can result in less time for homework and other assignments. There is also the overload of tests and quizzes students have to prepare for, which can make them feel very overwhelmed. With all of this, there are many responsibilities students have to balance, including school and extracurriculars. So some of the effects of stress from workload are mental symptoms such as stress, anxiety, mental disorders, difficulty concentrating, and overthinking. Some physical symptoms include fatigue, headaches, lack of sleep, muscle pain, digestive issues, and body damage. Emotional effects are nervousness, frustration, hopelessness, lack of motivation, and academic burnout.
Mental drain after school. From the data we collected, we learned that about 53% of students say they often feel tired or mentally drained after school, while about 18% of students say they always feel mentally drained or tired after school. There are many causes for that mental drain. Some of the causes are academic pressures, extracurricular activities, social challenges like bullying, poor time management, and being overwhelmed with too much work. Being mentally drained can impact someone by a lot. It can impact their performance in school and extracurricular activities. It can affect their ability to concentrate, ultimately making it harder for them to stay motivated. It can force themselves to distance each other, can distance themselves from social interactions and relationship, and they can have persistent fatigue and frequent mood swings.
Social isolation in school. About 53% of the teenagers said they sometimes felt isolated at school. Social isolation can be caused by mental health issues such as anxiety, and it can also be caused by bullying or peer rejection. This can cause teens to withdraw from social interactions. Additionally, not having any supportive friendships can also cause someone to isolate themselves in school. Relating back to earlier points about academic pressure, this can cause students to isolate themselves because of the strong expectations that makes them so too involved with studying. How can being socially isolated affect someone? This could cause loneliness throughout the school day. Mentally, it could cause someone to start having suicidal thoughts. It could cause depression, social anxiety, and other mental health issues. Physically, it could cause a loss in appetite. It can also lead to substance abuse because of coping with loneliness.
Moving on to coping with stress. We have noticed that teenagers struggle to ask for help or find coping strategies according to our data, where 63.2% of people use coping methods sometimes, whilst 26.3% never use coping methods when they are stressed.
Here are some ways to help manage your stress and keep your mental health stable. One of the most effective ways is sleep. Sleep is very important for your focus, attention, and memory. Even by taking a 30-minute nap after school, it will help you focus on your homework or studying. Another way is to listen to music. Playing slow, relaxing music can help you stay calm and increase your attention while also relieving any stress you might have. Having a good relationship with your teachers, counselors, or other peers can help you during challenging phases of your life, especially with friendships, stress, and transitions, by providing comfort and advice to help you. There's also other available resources too. If you're experiencing social isolation and do not have someone to talk to, exercise or meditation is something that is good to have in your routine, which can help you clear your mind, increasing your sleep quality while also keeping you in shape, even if you just do it once a day. Lastly, having some time management strategies are important to help sustain your workload and not be too overwhelmed or mentally drained.
Here are some coping strategies that we use to deal with stress. Me personally, I like to do self-care or I like to cook/bake.
I like to talk with my family or friends or try reading a book.
I like to try out a new hobby or watch a show.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health emergency, call 911. For less urgent matters, other local resources are also available, listed below.
To conclude, school-related stress can impact the student's mental and physical health. Recognizing mental health struggles is important so students can take steps to seek help. Coping methods can help manage stress and will help to avoid burnout. Prioritizing your mental health is a key factor to deal with academic pressure.
As we end this presentation, please take the time to take the post-presentation Google form. This is our works cited page.
Thank
Thank you.
you.